In today's class we are going to understand the formation of soil. We have already studied in previous classes that soil is very important for our survival on the earth. Every living being requires soil for its food, for home, for shelter, for clothing and whatnot. And soil is the most important natural resource on the earth that is very essential for our survival. So if something is so important for all of us, then it becomes extremely important to understand that how this soil was formed. Alright, so in today's class we are going to see the formation of soil, how soil is formed, and also we will see the various layers of soil. We will see that what is there below the top layer of the soil. So let's begin the class. If you will see on the screen, you will see that this big question is how soil is formed. That is what the objective of our class is. So you will be surprised to know that the soil takes about 100 years to form. It takes not 1 year, 2 years, but almost 100 years to form. And how does it form? From where does it form? So the soil which you can see here is made out of big rocks. Yes, so these big rocks, they break into smaller pieces. They break into smaller pieces. The big rocks, when they break into smaller pieces, when they break down into smaller pieces, they form soil. And it is a long process. It takes about so many years. And do you know that what makes these big rocks to break into smaller pieces? Do you know that? They break into smaller pieces by the action of wind, by the action, I will write here, by the action of wind, by the action of wind, by the action of air, by the action of rain, climatic conditions, and so many physical factors. So basically these physical factors like wind, air, rain, climatic change, they all help the big rocks to break into smaller pieces, and thus the soil is formed over the period of years. Now this process of breakdown of big rocks into smaller pieces is known as withering. What that called? That is called as withering, as you will see in the next slide. So what is withering? Withering is the most important process which is responsible for the formation of this important natural resource. So this is what withering is, the breakdown of. It is the breakdown of rocks. By what? By the action of wind, water, frost and other physical factors. And these factors also help the soil to transport into various places. So basically these factors also help in transportation of soil to various places. Alright, so what is withering? It is the most important process which makes the soil. Now you can see it here more clearly. So as you can see on the first section, so here I will show you that there are these basically 4 steps. These are the basically 4 steps involved in the formation of soil. That is the 4th step. So once the big rock we will call them parent rock. Parent rock means the original rock from which any soil is formed. Okay, so once this big rock comes into contact with the rain or the wind or other climatic conditions, it starts disintegrating. It breaks into pieces. It starts breaking into pieces. So this is the first step in which the bedrocks, means the big rocks, they start to break by the action of climatic conditions. You can say rain, you can say wind, or it can be anything. Now after some time, when the top bedrocks they start disintegrating, the organic matter like you can say the dead and decaying animal tissues or dead and decaying plant tissues or other microorganisms, they start accumulating and they fasten this disintegration process, and these bigger rocks start disintegrating into smaller rocks, and also they develop some humus. Okay, they also develop some humus because these big rocks, they are disintegrating Okay, and slowly and steadily they form the soil in which we can see the plants growing, we can see the crops growing. This is basically the mineral fragments and organic matter. Okay, so here you will see it is not basically the soil properly, it is just the minerals fragments. What do we understand by mineral fragments? Mineral fragments means the minerals that were there in the rock. So these rock basically contains the minerals. Okay, so when they break into pieces, that is how the soil gets its minerals from. Okay, so as we all know that these minerals are very important for the growth of any plant. Okay, so in the third step, this humus mix with the parent rock and they form the mineral fragments and organic matter, and this is how the formation of soil start taking place. And after some period of time, the thick soil develop at the top layer and the parent rock and the rock particles, they start accumulating at the bottom and we get the top layer of soil. So I hope children you have understood the various steps which are involved in the formation of soil. Okay, so now if we take the vertical section of the soil, before that let's understand this. So now here the soil is formed, okay, by the disintegration of rock and by mixing of organic matter into the soil, into this rocks, we get the soil. Now this soil which we get after the process of, what is that process called? That process is called as withering. So withering is this breakdown process of rocks into soil. Okay, this is withering. So once we get the soil contains so many things which is known as soil composition. So this soil basically contains so many things. It contains mineral matter because the soil is formed out of rocks and the rocks contains all the minerals. Okay, and so that is the reason why soil largely contains the mineral matter. That is 45% of soil consists of minerals, 5% of organic material. Organic material means the plant tissues, animal tissues, earthworms, other microorganisms and all that. Now 25% of soil contains air. Yes, because we all know that soil is very porous. Porous means it has small holes. So air also enters inside the soil, and 25% of water is also present in the soil. So basically these four materials, or basically these four things constitute a soil, or we can say makes the soil. Alright, so now if we will see the soil, you can see that soil has so many different sections. The soil which you see at the top is completely different from the soil at the bottom. Okay, we see only the top layer of the soil, but we never come to see the layers below the top soil. Okay, so today we will see and we will have a look on the various layers of the soil which are there below the top layer of the soil. So basically this is the top layer of the soil where the roots actually embed. Okay, so the layer where we can see the roots is basically the top layer of the soil. Okay, so these are the various layers of the soil which makes or which come out as a result of weathering. Now, if you will take a vertical section of the soil, okay, and this vertical section that you can see here, I hope it is very clear. You can see the top layer is very dark brown in color, and there is light brown, reddish brown, and there we can see the bedrock or the parent rock. So here you will see the parent rock. Now what do we understand by parent rock? Let's see here. So parent rock, basically the rock, it refers to the original rock from where that soil was formed. Okay, so if you will see this profile, so this is known as the soil profile. If you will take the vertical section of the soil, you will see the soil profile. Okay, this vertical section is known as soil profile. And do you know that all these vertical layers, these layers are different from one another in terms of their texture, in terms of their texture, in terms of their chemical composition, in terms of their chemical composition, color, soon as you get more in depth, you will see more rocks than the soil, and the humus at the below layers of the soil is less than the humus at the top layer. For the obvious reasons, because at the top layer we need to grow plants. So the humus at this layer is quite greater. So we will understand these horizons of the soil. These horizons, so basically these are known as horizons. So the top horizon, or you can say the top layer, is known as O horizon. Is known as O horizon. Is known as O horizon, or it also known as by the name of humus or organic layer. The next layer is known as the top soil. Is known as the top soil. Okay. And the next you can see E horizon, B horizon, C horizon, and at the last you will see the bedrock. So now the question comes is that if you literally want to see, if you actually or if you practically want to see the various horizons of the soil, if you want to see the various layers of the soil, how you can actually see them? Because we cannot have a look on all the layers of the soil just by seeing the top layer of the soil, right? So the best example or the best way by which you can see the various layers of the soil is by going to some construction site. So as you can see here, there is some construction going on. So if you will look very closely, you will notice these various horizons of the soil. Also, when some well is digging up, at that time you can see these horizons, or some place where the foundation of the building is being laid up, is being just laid up, there you can see these horizons of the soil in practical. Okay, so here you can also see the top layer, which is the O horizon. This dark black or dark brown portion is the A horizon, then B horizon, then C horizon, and then we can see the bedrock. So now let's see and take all these horizons today. Today we will understand O horizon and A horizon. So we will understand O horizon and A horizon. Now O horizon basically contains the organic matter. Now organic matter means the natural decaying of plants and animals. Okay, so at the top layer, so all the plants or all the animals, when they die, so they decay on the top layer. So this layer is called as the O horizon, and it basically contains the leaf litter. Leaf litter means it contains the layer of leaf. Okay, so the O horizon is not actually the top layer of the soil. It contains the leaf litter or the organic materials, maybe the earth forms, the insects, ants, and all these things. And in some places, this O horizon might actually not be present. Okay, so this O horizon is actually an optional case. Okay, in many places like in Rajasthan or in desert areas where there is less plants or less trees, in that places there is no O horizon, because if the trees will be more, then only we can see the layers of leaves, because when the tree shed their leaves, when the tree will shed the leaves will start accumulating at the top layer. So that layer is known as O horizon. Okay, so here also if you have seen here, so this layer is actually the O horizon. Okay, now this contains only leaf litter and organic matter. Leaf litter means the layer of leaves, or you can see the leaf, the dead leaves or the just fallen leaves, just shedded leaves by the trees. Now the next one is A horizon. So you can see the O horizon again. So O horizon basically contains the twigs also. Twigs means the wooden pieces, the small wooden pieces, leaves, pine needles and twigs and other decaying animal tissues. So you can remember by O horizon, and O stands for organic, so you can recall and remember like this. Now next one is A horizon. Now A horizon is the top soil. Okay, so above A horizon we will see only the leaves or the leaf litter or the organic tissues, the animal tissues and the plant tissues. The actual layer of the soil is the A horizon. It is the top soil. It is also known as the top soil. It is also known as the mineral horizon. horizon, because all the important nutrients which are required by the plants for their survival, they are actually present in the A horizon. So that is the reason why A horizon, which is called as the topsoil, is also known by the name of mineral horizon. Mineral horizon at or near the surface in which an accumulation of humified organic matter is mixed with the mineral matter. Okay, so on this layer, the organic matter, okay, the organic matter mixed with the mineral matter. So the organic matter basically mixed with the mineral matter. Okay, now you will see the importance of this A horizon. This A horizon is basically very important for the crop production, okay, for the growth of the plants. It is very important for the growth of the plants. It is very important for the growth of the plants, as you can see here. It is also the home for various microorganisms, various earthworms, various rodents, moles, insects, ants. All these also live on a horizon. So this layer is basically very important for the crop production, for the this also provides shelter to many organisms such as worms and other living organisms. So children, in the next class we will see the other horizons of the soil that are, you can see here, that are the B horizon, C horizon, or the parent rock or the parent bedrock, which is also known as the R horizon. Thank you.